Hello, even though there's no one yet. Andre is gonna join us in a moment. And I want to say that we are very grateful for all your support. Even if you're watching this afterwards, if you're not live with us, but this doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yes?
Okay.
Okay, we have someone. Hello. You can come closer, babe.
Yeah.
I put the microphone here.
Super.
Okay. So nice.
So cool to make a live stream. We can speak with the people.
Yes, we are really looking forward to this, and the time right now is really tough for many people. We experience it ourselves as well.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, the energies.
Very deep energies going all the way to, I think, even to the unconscious level. It's so deep what is happening right now. And that is pretty much just the beginning of a very long cycle. Things actually got triggered like 2 years ago, was it?
Mm-hmm.
When things started with the pandemic and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah. And now it is just deepening further.
Like 2 years and a half.
Yeah.
It was in the winter 2019. I think.
Yes, that's right. Something like this. You're right.
We don't speak about astrology very much, but always has a role. Everything has a role,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we don't know what's going on, and there's always a hit on the background.
Yes, we are more like feeling the energies intuitively and sharing with you what intuitively we feel. And one of the things that we actually felt, it was super strong yesterday. We both had this download absolutely simultaneously. We just didn't share with each other, and afterwards we did. And
Which one was it?
about the identity,
Yeah.
our topic today. It was very strong all of a sudden. And we have spoken about this before, but when you feel something, it's actually much deeper when you experience it yourself. When you hear it from certain people, or you just speak about it because you've heard about it, that it is supposed to be this way, or you were taught that it is supposed to be this way. But it's totally different when you actually feel it, when you experience it.
Mm-hmm. It's another world,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we cannot understand what's going on, but it's not an easy answer, and that's why it's a video like this cannot answer all your questions. No video on YouTube can answer all your questions
Mm-hmm.
because there's so many things to learn. People say life is easy. I don't think it's so. I don't think so. It's the most
No.
difficult life ever.
No, yeah. I
Whether it's
absolutely
twin
agree.
flames or not doesn't matter. It's just tough. Like it's the hardest core ever.
Yeah. And I think we are actually coming here to experience this. And that's where we lose ourselves sometimes. And the twin flame journey is definitely a point where we can lose ourselves very deeply.
Yeah, it's a suicidal journey if you don't know what you're doing. Exactly. But if you know what you're doing and you know you fix yourself and stuff, I think it's the most amazing, most remarkable experience you can ever have.
I absolutely agree. I never had better experiences with anyone else than with you.
You cannot go and like I'm gonna choose these life to be with my twin flame or something. You cannot do that. The choice was already made. You came here to understand. So if you already chose not to have a twin flame, no matter how much you're gonna look for, there's no one here to come. So just continue to be who you are. But if you already made the choice to have a twin flame way before the Earth, uh, you will have to go through the challenge. That's it.
Yeah, and the identity crisis is something very real, guys. We almost, even though we discussed it before, we almost did not understand it properly until last night. And I'm pretty sure that this download that we came up with, it has to do with the moon being in Scorpio right now and the Mercury retrograde and everything energetically. So basically, when you enter in the twin flame journey, you probably all know already, we've spoken about this before, how Kundalini starts to merge and stuff like this. So there's a process of merging between the two of you. And this merging can go so deep that you lose your identity.
Yep, you become lunatic. I don't know if it exists this word, but you become you just don't have an identity. That's all it is. And you can either go become a mad person, or you can how do you fix it if a person wants, you know, fixes itself?
Well, I don't know, but we spoke with we had a consultation last week, and I don't know why we didn't even click at that point what we are also going through. There was a lady that we were consulting, and she was sharing how once she got together with her twin flame, and she totally started changing her habits of daily life, and eventually she started realizing how this is affecting her in a bad way, because that's not how she was adjusted to beforehand. She already was settled with a certain lifestyle, and she was feeling quite balanced, centered within herself. And all of a sudden, she jumps in to the twin flame journey more deeply, and a few months later, she finds out that she doesn't even know who she is anymore and what she's doing and what is happening in her life. And it is like a whirlpool.
Yeah, and it's tough because I mean, there's no because. It's just it's crazy because you want to, you know, continue this to go to understand life, because spirituality is like you want to find out who you are, but there's several levels of finding out who you are. And the first one is just to know the concept. Second is to see your emotions and stuff, but then you're too scared to go there, so you leave it alone. But the problem with the twin flame is that you have no choice but to go into your emotions. So this is what brings a person to defy itself. And further, if the person continues, you know, to start to see what is going on in the emotions of the person and its twin flame, things can erupt like very bad if there's some trigger mechanisms, because the ego is very intelligent. The ego puts some traps like mines and stuff that as soon as you try to touch some emotion, it explodes, and then you have to either run away or attack or defend yourself. And this can be quite bad. I mean, actually, if you don't know what you're doing, it can be quite bad. But if you know what you're doing, you just, you know, like you calm down, you overcome the experience, you move forward. But then this is just like the middle part, and then when you activate, you know, other processes. For example, of course, the Kundalini is activated way before you meet your twin flame. But when everything is, when you think you actually understood the process, things take a turn for some reason. I don't know how to explain to you. It just turns and then becomes everything upside down again. I mean, it's crazy. We are giving our best to explain everything we go through.
You know how I feel? I feel like uh, how many years we're together now? I don't remember, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, 5.5
So,
or something.
at the beginning when we met, we already had come to a certain balance within ourselves, and now, uh, within the twin flame journey together, within our union, the things started to go so much like in a spiral way that I personally, for myself, feel I went back all the way to my teenage years. Like,
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
I'm starting to remember things that I had totally forgotten, and states of being for myself that I thought this no longer is a part of me, but it came back all of a sudden, and I transformed back into someone that you didn't actually meet at the beginning because I was already on the journey of change. And I think it's pretty much the same for you.
Yeah, and at first, I mean, not first, but when we started to settle, I got triggered by my own stuff, you know, and it was tough. It was very hard, and then once I overcame it, and I thought we were back on track, uh, I started to get you know, memories and stuff of things I already passed, and it's not just bad stuff. It's also good memories and stuff. But I think it's more like to um, almost like for us to reflect and to say, do you really want to continue this thing, or shall we change everything? Shall we just go back? You know, things like this.
Yes. It comes a point when you actually feel almost lost and you don't even know anymore who you really are. It really, I really feel like this lately. I don't really know who I really am anymore. If I am the person that I remember from past lives, if I am the person from my childhood, if I am the person that you met right at the beginning, or am I anything at all?
I think, I mean, I'm gonna answer this. I don't know if it's the absolute answer, but I think we are a mixture of everything, and we keep on being this mixture, just like a tiny stone or a dust will combine with other dust to become a bigger crystal or a bigger stone. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a dust anymore. Now it's a crystal. So I guess you are everything combined,
Right.
but focusing on this life, right?
The craziest actually part I feel is that uh, in our desire to get closer to the other, to the twin flame, we actually start to almost mimic our twin flame, and we start to
As we merge further.
yes, we start to get traits from each other, like that's what we were discussing.
Yeah, continue, continue.
You
Okay.
continue.
Uh, I mean, this is very normal already, but we are like every other day or every day we are finishing one phrase at the same time. Maybe it's very basic, but it's getting more and more uh, like often, and it's becoming a little bit like I am seeing like I'm speaking with myself. It's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
weird, but that's just one thing. There's other things when we are. I think of something and she's doing it instead of speaking what I'm thinking. She's doing it, so it's like further. You know, it goes further. This thing
Mm-hmm.
continues.
Yeah, sometimes we also have simultaneous dreams. which almost are literally the same.
Ah, and they continue. So I have a dream.
Yes.
She also has a dream, and when we share each other's dream, it's like my dream went on her dream, or vice versa,
Mm-hmm.
and it continues. We don't know the meaning of my dream, neither her dream, but if we say what both dreams are, we actually know the meaning, and it's a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
So basically, the most important thing we came up with yesterday is that it is really important to spend some time on your own, by yourself, without your twin flame, even if you are already together. Um, doing what your heart really is into. For example, I am more young, and it is my nature to, to be spaced out, generally, um, even to listen to certain music, meditations, and energy healing and stuff like this. This is more my thing, kind of. um,
My thing is to be lost, but in in the earth, like to be grounded as much as I can, and to be occupied with my own stuff. That's it, because I'm yin, and yeah, that's how it works. When we see someone, um, I mean, when we see someone and this person is willing to open itself, not, you know, um, she sees the positive parts of this person. I see the negative parts, and this continues on everything, on objects, on
mhm.
the elements, on what how life is, and it's just like this.
Yes. um, but if you don't get onto this on time,
The what?
the losing your identity within the twin flame connection, it can become so deep. um, I'm almost losing my thought, but
This can become so deep that you cannot fix it anymore because you don't know what to do, or because you're so lost, right?
it can go so deep that you start doing the things that your twin flame is good at, and instead of your twin flame doing them, you are doing them, and your twin flame is doing the things that you are good at.
Is this bad or good?
Well, it's not the best, because that's not the optimum. You will be struggling, because a young person, for example, usually is not so good with the physical world, with the physical things. I, for instance, may have brilliant ideas for and to visualize things how I want them, how I see them to come to happen, but I don't have the power and the skills even to make them happen.
Yeah, I have the skills to make them happen, but I don't have the skill to really envision it in the
You
best way.
also have the ability to see things in a way, but it's more like an idea. But how to happen this idea, it's more like my thing.
I'm more physical, she's more mental. And
Yeah.
whatever vision I have, it's gonna be physical again. It's not really in a mental way that will be good
Mm-hmm.
to do something.
So if I end up doing entirely physical activities without um, anything mental, I mean, I'm still gonna be thinking throughout the day and analyzing and whatever. I've been doing this all my life, and you are still gonna be doing something physically, because that's a part of you. So you will jump back and forth to it from time to time. But what I mean that is, if you entirely jump in doing your twin flames thing and vice versa, you're on the wrong track. And you need to find some balance within this.
Yeah, you need to breathe a little bit.
Yes, and you cannot expect that what is good for you will be good for your twin flame. Even the food, we have spoken about it. Um,
But
you
we don't go deep in this very
yes,
much because
you cannot expect that the diet that is good for you will be the diet that your twin flame will be following, and it will be good for your twin flame. No,
yeah, and it's not just about food on anything like
anything. Yeah, I just
the
wanted to give an example.
the behavior, what you like, what you don't like, and we all know it's everything is opposite, but there are some mutual things. This is just to be able to attract one another a little bit. Otherwise, it's like being with a complete stranger, you know. So, but on every single thing that you're doing, what is it?
I'm checking if is there from somewhere where we can see comments, or
I think if they
they should
want,
appear.
they should appear.
Okay.
That's all. Because we didn't ask them a question, like if they want to
Well,
post
if
question.
someone wants to ask a question,
Yeah.
you're more than welcome, guys.
So what I was saying is that, well, just because you are this way, for example, I don't know, I like soup. I'm just making a small example. I like soup, I like animals, and I like to run. But my twin flame, but not, this is just an example. My twin flame, for example, likes to walk, and she doesn't like soup, and you know it's entirely the opposite. But sometimes it doesn't have to be the opposite. She just has a completely different thing, and just because she doesn't like what I like, and you know I'm not gonna start to be her in order for her to like me. You know, I have to be myself. She has to be herself.
Mm-hmm.
We can maybe come to the middle a little bit like this.
Right. And sometimes what your twin flame doesn't like is not because it's not a part of their nature. It can be because of inner fears, inner stuffed emotions, which are not, the person doesn't want to face because one or another reason. Psychologically, this can be very deep, and on the subconscious level it can be coming from past lifetimes, um, and even if it's coming from past lifetimes, it's usually also related to a certain event in this lifetime as well, so it can be healed. But you have to understand that the healing process can be very painful. Actually, most of the times it is very painful, and especially now with energies in Scorpio, it can be extremely painful. We have to keep that in mind because Scorpio is, I call it the energy of the blocked emotions.
Blocked emotions.
Yes, it's painful, a lot of painful stuff that is hidden out there, and to heal that, it takes time. Sometimes it can take years. We cannot expect, from figuring out something that from the next day we have already changed it. Okay, we realize that something is not serving us or whatever, but it still takes time to let it go, for example. It's not going to happen with a click of a button. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where we have to be patient, not just with our twin flame, but with ourselves as well, because we mirror each other. And if we're not patient with the other one, we are actually not patient with ourselves. And
Am I patient with you?
we both have our patient moments and impatient
Impatient.
moments.
I think it depends what, where are we focusing on,
Mm-hmm.
and how is our state. If we are stressed already, if the day starts stressed, we might not have patience. So if the day starts
Yeah.
amazing, yeah.
So our formula is at least one of us to be okay on the head, emotionally, psychologically, and in any ways. And in this way, we keep our balance somehow.
Because life, you know, it's beautiful and stuff. I mean, can be crazy as well, but there's a lot of challenges and this challenge is not just within you. People will throw themselves at you because
Mm-hmm.
I like to say this the Lord Astral, but we don't go deep. We have other information there that's fixed about it. But when you just are about to do something, let's say you think it's good, something always going to interfere, especially if you are in the twin flame journey, and you need to be able to be sane. At least one of you to be
Mm-hmm.
focusing, saying, okay,
Yep, exactly. If we both go down, um, it's
life dies.
very difficult. It's very difficult to come out from such a hole. So you really need to make it in a way that at least the one in any situation stays sane, psychologically prepared. And you can take turns. It doesn't have to be always the same person. That's our secret of
Mm-hmm.
staying together for so long. We really take turns. Sometimes I need to be there, and sometimes you need to be there for me.
Yes,
And
and we are very grateful for this because if it wasn't this,
mm-hmm. I'm super grateful for you, babe. Thank
Me
you so
too.
much.
Thank you so much, too.
Thank you, guys.
Now that you spoke about the comments, I was thinking maybe we didn't activate something.
I don't know. Well, if you left us a comment and we didn't see it,
We'll see you later. Well,
we
I mean,
we
we
apologize.
apologize and we'll
Yeah,
fix
that's
for the next time.
we don't do lives very often, but we'll keep that in mind for next time.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah. We'll close it and then we'll translate in other languages uh, with automatic subtitles.
Right.
Yeah.
Lots of love.
Ciao, ciao.
See you.
See you.